Well, the weekend has begun, and we can do so much. First things first, we're going to be reviewing, of course, New Japan Pro Wrestling as we continue with more of the New Japan Cup. However, we are now in the quarterfinals, so we will see who will be the lucky four to be part of the semifinals. However, we also have the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship on the line. Hiroki Goto puts his belt on the line against Blue Justice, Yuji Nagata. So the question does remain, will Hiroki Goto's revolution continue, or will Blue Justice finally become champion once again? And then, of course, we move on with Stardom. We conclude now with, of course, the Cinderella Tournament. Which of the lucky four will become this year's Cinderella Tournament winner? Will it be Sayaka Kurara, Azusa Inaba, Rina, or will Hana once again become two-time Cinderella Tournament winner? That's something we're going to find out. But also, the white belt, the Wonder of Stardom Championship, is also on the line. Starlight Kid defends her belt once again for the second time, but this time against someone she's known too well, and that is, of course, Konami. So we will see what happens in that match. And then finally, AEW Collision. As you know, we continue with more qualifying match for the Dynasty International Championship Eliminator. Who will be the next two to fill up the spot? That is something we're definitely going to see. And we got plenty other matches as well that we're going to go through. And then we cap up our episode with some news updates to give you guys updates on what's been happening in the world of pro wrestling, such as what events the promotions are throwing out, who's booked, what matches are set, including developments that are happening in the world of pro wrestling as we speak. So, let's get ready for another episode of the Lead It Wrestle Zone.
Are you ready? Get up, get up! 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 Get up, get up!
Hey everybody, welcome to the Lead It Wrestle Zone. All things that is pro wrestling with AEW, NXT, New Japan Pro Wrestling, TNA, the National Wrestling Alliance, various promotions, wrestlers, matches, and championships. I am your host, J-Rod here. So, if you are new to the channel, welcome. This is a channel where we do a lot of pro wrestling reviews from various promotions, not only here in the United States, but also in Japan, Mexico, Canada, Europe, the UK, anywhere in the world pro wrestling is not as big, but it continues to grow. We also, of course, do discussion videos, talk about various topics such as the wrestlers themselves, the promotions, factions, storylines, whatever we want to talk about. We also, of course, do more news updates. If certain information was unable to be on this episode, we can either put it on the next one or on a separate video by itself. We also, of course, do real-time news updates to keep you guys on alert if something has happened in the world of pro wrestling that needs to be addressed ASAP. We also, of course, got the United Sayaka Watch and various other cool wrestling content as well. So if you like what you see, please subscribe to us or click on that subscribe button. You'll be getting a lot of daily reviews and other cool wrestling content as well. But if you like this episode, please give us a like on the like button or a nice comment in the description down below. Now, all introductions have been said. I believe it's time to move speed ahead. So, let's begin with our first review, and this is from New Japan Pro Wrestling. Okay, New Japan Pro Wrestling. As you know, we're getting closer and closer to the conclusion of this tournament. However, who will walk out as this in the semifinals? So we're getting closer to the end, and we will see who will win this year's tournament. But let's begin as usual with the non-tournament matches. Our first match, we have TMDK consisting of Hartley Jackson and Rohit Oiwa taking on Yoshihashi and Tomohiro Ishii of Chaos. Now, of course, you probably will see a hoss fight between both Hartley Jackson and Tomohiro Ishii. You know that's something you definitely would enjoy. But the real question is who will have the upper hand. Personally, I would have thought Hartley Jackson, but however, we regularly see him in New Japan. It most likely was going to be Tomohiro Ishii when he applied a vertical drop brainbuster, and just like that, one, two, three, it's over. Now, our next up, we have the United Empire consisting of TJP, Jacob Austin Young, Cal Newman, and Great Khan taking on Bolton Oleg, Toru Yano, Tomohiro Ishii, and El Phantasmo. So, of course, you probably would see a lot of things happening. I mean, nothing too special, but however, how this match ended. I think this is one match we would never forget. It was TJB who picked up the win for his team when he applied a Hurricane Rana onto El Phantasmo, and then all of a sudden, one, two, three, it's over. However, as you all know, El Phantasmo is the current New Japan World Television Champion, so it wouldn't be surprising if TJP makes the choice to challenge El Phantasmo for the title. So we will see what happens moving forward from here on out on that. Now, as you probably know, the civil war between both House of Torture and War Dogs continue to escalate in any way possible. The House of Torture features, of course, Yoshinobu Kanemaru, Sho, and Ren Narita taking on the War Dogs, consisting of Gabe Kidd, Chase Owens, and Sonata. Now, the real question we ask ourselves is Sonata. We have been seeing his attitude a little different than normal. He doesn't seem like he cares, or what is it, or whatever he's trying to do. I mean, he seems like he's reverted where he's now back to his silent days, which is very interesting. But fortunately, this match ended under 2 minutes and 47 seconds of a double countout. Basically, that's almost close to 3 minutes. Don't know what's gonna happen from here on out. But as for the match was over, Sonata just took a stroll and just walked out. Now, speaking of the other members of the House of Torture, we have Dick Togo, Yujiro Takahashi, and Evil taking on Lij's Bushi, Tetsuya Naito, and Yoda Tsuji. Now, remember, Evil has his plans towards Suji. He feels that Suji, he is not the future of New Japan. He feels like, don't kid yourself, you little bastard. Well, Suji's not going to take that kindly from him. And of course, he's going to take matters in his own hand because he gave, of course, that sleepy little weasel, Dick Togo, the Gene Blaster. And just like that, one, two, three is over. However, Evil tried to get the last laugh, but it failed miserably thanks to Yoda Tsuji. And of course, Evil ran away like a coward with his tail between his legs. So we will see what happens here. Evil has two fronts he has to deal with. It's the War Dogs and now with Yoda Tsuji. So we will see what happened from here on out. Now, I believe our next four matches are in fact the hold on folks, I messed up my notes somewhere. Ah, here it is. Yeah, my notes were not organized very well. All right, our next four matches, as you know, is the quarterfinals of the New Japan Cup. Only four lucky recipients will jump into the semifinals. First match, we have Drilla Maloney versus Shingo Takagi. Now, as you all remember, not too long ago, Shingo Takagi suffered a loss against Drilla Maloney. And here's the thing, Drilla Maloney, as we all know, he is making a smooth transition from junior heavyweight to heavyweight. Now remember, this is not uncommon in New Japan. We have seen wrestlers that do that, like Kenny Omega, Will Ospreay, El Phantasmo, Shingo Takagi himself, and now Drilla Maloney. But the real question we ask ourselves, does lightning strike twice for Shingo? Well, it did not, because however, he walked away with the win, with the burning dragon, and he advances. So that's going to be interesting to watch. Our next match, we have Shota Umino taking on Jeff Cobb. Now, of course, as you know, Shota Umino has a bit of a change of his ways now because of what happened with Great Khan. So Jeff Cobb, as you know, he is determined to win this tournament at any cost to bring it back to the United Empire. But however, it did not do any good for him because he ended up in a Northern Light bomb by Shota Umino, and just like that, it was over. But it makes you wonder: did Great Khan made a big mistake attacking, well, attacking the character of Shota Umino, the way he interacts with the people? Who he, as you guys remember, Shota Umino declared himself that he'll be the next ace of New Japan, and of course, Khan refuses to let that happen. But however, I would say, Khan, you may have defeated him, you destroyed his character, but the real question is, you did not make it through to the New Japan Cup, and neither did your boy Cobb. So we'll see what happens. Now, our next match, we have David Finlay taking on Yuya Uemura. It's not the first time these two have dealt with each other before. As you know, the war between, of course, the War Dogs and um, just four guys continued on. However, Yuya Uemura did everything humanly possible to try to advance in the tournament, but it was just too much, with David Finlay applying the overkill, and just like that, 1, 2, 3, it was over. However, during the post match, Sonata showed up and attacked Yuya Uemura as payback for losing, of course, in the beginning of the tournament. So I'm sure Yuya Uemura will get his hands on him sooner or later. And our last match, which is our semi-main event, as you know, these two guys are no strangers to each other, and they used to be tag team partners and tag champions, formerly of Dangerous Techers. We're talking about Taichi and Zack Sabre Jr. Those who remember, these two guys were very close, and they were part of one of the most dangerous factions in all of professional wrestling in Japan. We're talking about Suzuki-gun. That's right. Taichi, as you know, since Suzuki-gun was dismantled, Taichi formed just four guys with Taka Michinoku, Doiki, and Kanemaru until he turned on them. And then, of course, Zack Sabre Jr. formed TMDK, joined TMDK with Shane Hayes and, of course, Mikey Nichols. So basically, this is the first time these two went head to head. And this is where one of those moments where, of course, neither man hold any punches. They are determining. But unfortunately, Taichi did not make it through until Zack Sabre Jr. applied the bridge. And just like that, 1, 2, 3. And of course, Taichi and Zack will always be friends, despite that they are in fact in different units, and they highly respect each other. And even Zack Sabre Jr. says he has no doubt that he will become world champion. He sees that in him. He sees how much he has improved. And of course, I'm sure Zack will be there to watch it when that day comes. But as of right now, he advances into the tournament. Now, our main event, we have the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship. Hiroki Goto defends his belt against Blue Justice, Yuji Nagata. So, you know Yuji Nagata, he is one of the toughest SOBs on the planet, and not to mention a part of the third generation wrestlers, and that is something very special in New Japan and those who understand the history. This match was very tensified, but however, Hiroki Goto was able to pull it off when he applied the GTR, and just like that, 1, 2, 3, he retained the belt. And of course, he put out a post match promo. I forgot what they said, but I'm sure we will see who will be the next challenger. I'm sure he's going to keep an eye out on the New Japan Cup very closely. So we will see what happens. But as of right now, we'll end things here with New Japan and move on with our next review, Stardom. Okay, Stardom. We conclude now with the Cinderella Tournament. So those who probably are new to the channel are not familiarized with this tournament. Let me explain what this one is. The Cinderella Tournament is not a round robin tournament. It's a single elimination match. Basically, if you win, you keep on moving. If you lose, you're out. But the question you ask yourselves, what does the winner get? Simple. They get to make a wish. It could be anything. Mostly we've been seeing wrestlers challenge for a championship, mostly from the white belt. That's always been the clear. But we haven't seen any. There's been maybe one or two rare occasions someone challenged for the red belt. So we'll see what happens. But we do have four competitors that are part of the semifinals, but two of them will be in the finals. So let's get started with our first match. Our first match, we have, of course, Yuria Him, Akira Kuragane. They team up with CML's Tabata to take on EXV's Hanako, Waka Tsukiyama, and Maika. Now, of course, the rookies will definitely try to display some great techniques as possible, but unfortunately, this match ended with, of course, Hanako applying a somewhat of a vertical suplex, and just like that, on Kurigani, 1, 2, 3. Hanako wins for her teammates, and it's over from there. Now, our next two matches are the semifinals of the Cinderella Tournament. First match, we have Azusa Inaba taking on Sayaka Kurara. Now, many people, as you probably can guess, already predict that possibly Kurara could go to the finals. That's one thing. But however, Kurara has to deal with someone who has a bit of a martial arts background and a bit of a technical background. But don't forget, she's a member of Hate. As you know, recent times, Hate has been declaring war against the Cosmic Angels in any way possible. But however, Kurara was able to walk away with the win when she applied the Tokimike uh, Falcon Arrow, and then all of a sudden, 1, 2, 3, she made it to the finals. But the real question you ask yourselves, who will be, of course, joining her in the finals? Well, we have the two sisters, Rina and Hanan. Now, those who know their history, Hina and Rana, along with Rina's twin sister and also Hanan's sister, have been part of the promotions that were very young. And of course, during the time they were separated, Hanan went with Stars, Rina with, well, first she ended up with the Tokyo Cyber Squad, and then later joined Oedo Tai, now with Hate, and then Hina. Now, Rina, as you know, she is the kind of person who feels like she wants to surpass her sister, and she did that by breaking her record as the future champion. And now she feels that she has to surpass her as, of course, the defending champion of the Cinderella Tournament. And that's the one thing we ask ourselves: who will walk out? I mean, Hanan. It's not uncommon to see a winner win multiple times of the Cinderella Tournament. We've seen that with Mayu Iwatani and Mirai. But now the real question is, can Hanan pull it off? The obvious question is, she did not. Apparently, Rina was able to apply the Pink Devil, and all of a sudden, 1, 2, 3, Rina joins Sayaka Kurara in the finals. Our next match, we have, of course, Neo Genesis, consisting of Miyu Amasaki, Azumi, Suzuki, and Mei Seira, taking on Hate, Raka, Momo Watanabe, Natsuko Tora, and Saya Kamitani. So basically, this match, nothing too special. We know that Neo Genesis had dealt with Hate on multiple occasions. However, in this match, there's been a lot of miscommunications, mostly coming from Suzuki and, of course, Mei Seira, better known as Crazy Star, as a tag team. There's been um, misfires, miscues from both sides, and well, mostly from Mei to Suzu. But this led to the Natsuko Toro taking the pinfall onto Zuzu, and just like that, 1, 2, 3 is over. However, some people are now starting to begin, there's cracks coming in within Neo Genesis. We don't know what's going to happen, but I think many people are becoming worried how things are going to go. So we'll just wait and see. Our next match, we have a 5-on-5 tag match. We have God's Eye, consistent of Rana Yagami, Tomoka Inaba, Lady C, Saki Kashima, and Shuri, taking on stars Momokogo, Saya Ida, Koguma Azuki, and of course our current IWGP Women's Champion Mayu Iwatani. So basically, you know how this was gonna go. I mean, we're gonna see moments of the bear from Koguma. Rani Agami had to dealt with that on various occasions. So you probably don't know what to expect when it came to it. But towards the end, it was in fact Shuri who picked up the win onto Mayu Watani, 1, 2, 3. Just like that, it was over. However, as you all remember, I haven't seen it yet. There was a recent match that she had with Suri, formerly known as Saray, to solidify themselves who will be the next person to challenge Mayu for the IWGP Women's title. Well, it looks like Shuri actually made her her initial plan, and she issued a challenge. And of course, Mayu had to get grant her that permission, but the real question is when it's going to happen. To me, I wouldn't be surprised it would happen next month at Yokohama. So most likely that could happen. So we will see until then. Now our next match, this is a bit of a warm up for, of course, most likely from Sakura Daman, consistent of Cosmic Angel members Aya Sakura and Yuna Mizumori, but they will face their seniors from the Cosmic Angels, Sayuri Anu and of course Tam Nakano. Now remember, this is not the first time these two teams have faced off like this before. The last time there was an Artist Championship matchup, which of course the core members, the seniors of the Cosmic Angels, Tam, Sayuri Anu, and Natsupoi are in fact won. But of course, Natsupoi, who's out in injury, was watching this match herself. But I have to say, Kurara and Sakura and of course Mizumori actually have uh, grown a lot more than ever. I mean, they are becoming a much cohesive team, and not to mention they displayed their strength, on both Tam and Sayuri. But unfortunately, this match ended with Tam Nakano giving Sakura the gift of the Twilight Dream. And just like that, one, two, three, it was over. But during the post match promo, Tam Nakano gave praises to Sakura, telling her how much she has grown and how much she has gained strength for what she can accomplish. But she also told her, go beat Barbie up and bring that belt back here. She was referring to Chi Chi. As you all know, Sakura will be challenging for the Sendai Girls Junior World Championship on the 19th of March. And of course, Sakura will definitely take that in consideration, knowing she has to do this. However, while that was happening, a familiar figure from the Cosmic Angels past once again reemerged, and that is Unagi Sayaka, your favorite eel. So you probably ask yourselves, what the hell is she doing there? Well, it seems that she sent out an invitation to a particular someone for her upcoming self-produced show in Ryogoku. And that person was Sayuri Anu. And of course, she decided to give her like a little slipper to make it look like a Cinderella moment. It seems that, for a while, Unagi has been trying to find out who could be available on that day. And it looks like she chose Sayuri Anu. So it's rather interesting. So we'll see what happens. But however, while that ended, Sayuri Anu talked to Tam. As you all know, Tam, we don't know for sure if this will be the like when will if the Yokohama event will be her last. So Sayuri Anu decided to pull out the thing they promised, and that promise was to challenge each other. And of course, it's going to happen on April 2nd. So we'll see what happens until then. Our next match, we have Tekla versus Mina Shirakawa. Now, as you all know, these two ladies know each other too well. This happened back in 2022 when Mina Shirakawa was trying to persuade Tekla to join the Cosmic Angels, but Tekla was not having it. She's not in like showing her sexiness the same way Mina did. They've been going back and forth, but however, Tekla has a resound attitude to piss off, of course, the president of Stardom, Toru Okada. So this match is a special one. If Mina Shirakawa's win, Tekla has to issue a public apology and pay her fines. But if Tekla wins, she gets to pick her opponent. But before the match even proceeded on, Mina Shirakawa said there'll be no seconds involved. Nobody from Hate, nobody from EXV. So everybody went to the back. But of course, as always, you would think that Tekla had something up her sleeve. I mean, Tekla did every human thing possible to slow down Mina, but of course, Hate showed up as always to ensure that things will go the way. And then, of course, Mina Shirakawa lost this match. And just like that, it was over with the pinfall. One, two, three. It was done. However, I had a feeling who was she going to pick for her opponent, and she picked the president of Stardom, Taru Okada. Now, he hasn't responded to this yet. I'm sure he knows that he has to deal with her on plenty of occasions. So we will see what happens. Now, it's time for what the match we've been waiting for, the Cinderella Tournament final. Rina versus Kurara. Now, I think I may say this that I will suspect that many of you Either we're split in half, or majority of you would think Rina would win. I mean, part of me would like to think Rina would win for obvious reasons. One, I'm not saying I'm a fan of her, but obviously I would think Rina would win because she would like do the one thing that she felt that her sister has failed to do, is to claim the white belt, and I think that's something she would definitely go for. But however, when it comes to Kurara, a part of me was always saying somehow Kurara was going to win, obviously because there are those that speculate what her wish is going to do. But man, she went to the fullest on this match. Not to mention, um, Rina applied, of course, the Pink Devil, and she kicked out of it. It's like everything that Rina did to try to dismantle Kurara, she refuses to stay down. It's like she had a purpose that she had to win in anything. I was like, she looks more like, I can't lose, I can't lose. And then all of a sudden, she pulled it off when she applied the spear, then a jackknife, and then one, two, three. It was over. Cinderella Tournament winner, Sayaka Kurara. But during the post match promo, Kurara had some things to say to Rina, telling her she recognizes her as one of the strongest individuals she's ever met, and she respects the hell out of her for that. But as for Rina, she felt embarrassed and ashamed to hear that from her, especially she always thought that she was far more superior than her because she's younger. But that's how it is. But we will see her a little later when at the ceremony, so we'll get to that. Now, for our main event, we have the Cinderella Tournament, the White Belt Championship. Actually, the Wonder of Stardom. Starlight Kid actually defends her championship for the second time against Konami. Now, of course, when it comes to Konami, she would do whatever it takes by using a spray can, try to cheat her way through, even try to put a lot of pain into, of course, into Starlight Kid in any way humanly possible. But nothing worked, even though there was moments where you see Kid's face was busted open, her mouth. But luckily, she was able to pick up the one with the tiger suplex, and then just like that, one, two, three, she retained the belt. So we don't know what's going to happen. We do know she has issues towards uh, Kamitani due to her ways as the red belt champion, but we may see that at soon enough. Now, this event does not end with, of course, like that. It ends with Kurara in her cute little dress, accepting the award as this year's Cinderella Tournament. But I think many people were questioning, of course, what she's gonna do. But we did see, of course, I like to say this: the Cosmic Angels. I'm sure they're very proud, and she's the first ever Cosmic Angel to actually win the tournament. I'm sure deep down, Tam, who always looked out for her, won this tournament. I do duly feel that she's like a proud mom watching her daughter win. But the real question many of you would ask, what does she wish? Well, she said that was not the time. She feels that she has something in mind, but it will be on the right time. Now, there are those people that speculate that she may do something on the Yokohama event, which is the career versus career for the red belt. So we will see what happens. But there was a moment where, of course, the Cosmic Angels were celebrating the fact that one of their own had did the impossible. No one in the Cosmic Angels have won the Cinderella tournament until now. So Kurara is actually the first, but I'm sure, hopefully, she's not the last. So we'll see what her wish will be. So can't wait. But as of right now, we are done with Stardom. Let's move on with AEW Collision. Okay, final review. AEW Collision. We opened up with the Dynasty International Championship Eliminator qualifier match. Ricochet versus Katsuyori Shibata. Now, Ricochet, as you know, he was unsuccessful to win for the number one contendership for the AEW World title, but now he's aiming for the international title. So the real question is, will he pull it off? Now, he did tell Shibata, do yourself a favor. Don't bother showing up. Well, Shibata sends a little message, as usual, as Samoa Joe calls him speak and spell. Shut up, Baldy. But however, of course, Shibata was not going to back down. He doesn't care what Ricochet won, but you probably would think Shibata would have won, but unfortunately Ricochet, who was determined to win at any way, any cost, he actually won by pinning Katsuyori Shibata with, of course, with the help of the ropes. Ref didn't see it. It was a highway robbery right there for everybody to see. Now, in the back, we saw the Murder Machine try to intensify the fire of Mark Davis by beating up who they can see in the back. So that's how it rolls up. Now, Tony Storm, as you know, well, she hasn't forgotten what happened this past Wednesday. She was talking about Megan Bain, about the things that she did, attacking her. She called her that she's a bit more pathetic to do that. But however, she even decided to put the entire AEW women's division on notice. So we will see what happens. Our next match, I believe, we have Powerhouse Hobbs versus Griff Garrison. Now, of course, Griff Garrison is not alone. He has the frat house by his side as always. But Powerhouse Hobbs was able to walk away with the win when he applied the spine buster. But however, the frat house decided to retaliate for what happened. But luckily, Powerhouse Hobbs had his backup, and that is, of course, the Outrunner saving the day. And then, of course, the finale, Powerhouse told him, do the thing, which is, you son of a bitch. And that was a pretty good moment. I wouldn't be surprised if those three become like a faction of some sorts, but it's really fun. Now, dur- during an interview with Lex Lanier, she talks to Thunder Rosa. Now, Thunder Rosa, as you know, has been dealing with Megan Bain prior before Megan Bain did what she did this past Wednesday, saying, you disrespected me, but even worse, you disrespected, of course, Tony Storm, and then you attacked Chris Statlander. So basically, she's trying to show her, I'm la mera mera, I'm going to take care of business. But of course, Megan Bain decided to send a little message of herself. So we'll see what happens. Now, our next match is the other of the Dynasty International Championship Eliminator qualifier. Mark Davis versus Mark Briscoe. Now, you all know Mark Briscoe is a tough SOB. He refuses to stay down, and not to mention do the Wah! That's right, redneck kung fu. But the effing family decided to get involved. Yeah, the murder machine. They cost Mark Briscoe the match until Mark Davis applied the Coriolis force, and just like that, 1, 2, 3. Of course, and I believe Tony Schiavone's right. They're trying to find a way to bring that belt back into the Don Callis family. So it's no secret. However, speaking of the murder machine, as you all know, they attacked their opponents in the back. Well, they decided to drag them back into the ring. Sonico El Fata, Matt Vandegrift, and Bryce something. Anyway, this match ended real quick on to Fatal when they end up being choke power bombed by the murder machine, and 1, 2, 3 is over. However, Mark Briscoe and Hobbs decided to take their business against the murder machine. So we'll see what happens from there on. Now, we did see Swerve Strickland giving a promo. He talked about how he defeated Ricochet, but told him, the next time we meet, all bets are off. And then he moves on, of course, to the AEW World Championship, where he knows he'll get a shot at Dynasty. And then he turned his attention to Cope. So he said he looked up to him and all that, but now Cope's saying, you're standing in my way no matter if you're a legend. But however, it appears that one person cannot stand people getting in his way, try to claim a title that he feels that they don't deserve to have, and that is, of course, Jon Moxley. So he attacked Swerve with the crowbar, and then he ruptured his ear, the same one that he had against Ricochet recently. Now, our next match, we have Top Flight. They team up with Hologram to take on the Shane Taylor Promotions with the Infantry, Carly Bravo, and Sean Dean, and the pure ROH Pure Wrestling Champion, Lee Moriarty. However, former friends of Top Flight, the crew, consisting of Action Andretti and Leo Rush, were right there watching this. I thought the match was good, and then we saw a bit of a moment with Harley Graham watching the match from the back until Beast Mortal was going on. Now, I don't know what to make of it. I've been watching some of the comments from people Some people don't like it. Some people think it's kind of interesting. Some people love it. Me, I would like to say I would like to see where this is going to go. I mean, Harley Cameron, we cannot say she is the best, but she's bringing some new things, in my opinion, that she's willing to put out. Doing those funny jokes about Mercedes Monet with the puppet. I don't know, but I feel like she's doing something. And I don't know if it's like a smart way or not, but I may do a discussion video about that one day, but we'll see. But anyway, we did see, of course, the match ended with Dante Martin actually picked up the win onto Carly Bravo thanks to a perfect German suplex um, by Darius, and then Dante was the one who picked up the win. And of course, the crew were watching this. Now, there was a little bit of a video promo that was voiced by Alex Brahamontes, sending a direct message to LFI saying what you guys did to Hologram and Commander will not go unpunished, and they're calling them the Lucha Stars. I think they're trying to do something different away from what the Lucha Brothers were. The Brothers were a very unique tag team, and I think many of you would agree. And I say we want to see another unique tag team, not following the parameters of the Lucha Brothers. I mean, yes, the Lucha Brothers were special, but they had a different dynamic than than what we've seen, and I'm sure we'll see that with these guys. Now, our next match, we have Megan Bayne taking on Thunder Rosa. Man, Thunder Rosa tried to put up a hell of a fight against her, but it was way too much for her after being attacked by Megan Bayne. And then, of course, Megan Bayne applied the Fate Descent, and just like that, it was over. However, during the post match, Megan Bayne intending to destroy Thunder Rosa with the Torture Rack, but Tony Storm showed up to handle business. But unfortunately, it didn't do any good. She got knocked out. And then Chris Statlander and the referees showed up. Chris Statlander decided to help Thunder Rosa. So we don't know what's going to happen. It seems that Megan Bayne, in my opinion, is sending a direct message to anybody who stands in her way. That includes, of course, former AEW World Champion Thunder Rosa, and of course, the current World Champion and former TBS Champion. So basically, you can guess that. Now, our main event, the best tag team. We have FTR, Dax Harwood, and Cash Wheeler taking on the Undisputed Kingdom, Roderick Strong, and Kyle O'Reilly. It's no secret these two guys are a good tag team as well, but who is the better team? And I think that's a very good, fair question. But however, this one turned out to be part of the FTR when they applied a Shatter Machine onto Roderick Strong, and just like that, 1, 2, 3, it was over. Won by pinfall by Wheeler, and just like that, it was over. But we will see next week, of course, on Wednesday. I'm not sure. The TNT title will be defended, so stay tuned for that. But as of right now, we are officially done with our news, with all our reviews, and we're going to move forward with, of course, with some news updates. Okay, for now, time for our news updates. So let's begin, as always, with upcoming events with the promotions. As you know, Vegas promotion Future Stars of Wrestling will have their upcoming show Mecca on the 23rd of March. They just announced, of course, AEW talent and former WWE superstar Ricochet will be there. So that's going to be an interesting to see, especially for the Las Vegas fan base. Now, as you know, MARIGOLD will have their next upcoming show later on this month on the 30th in Corkin Hall. And this will feature, of course, MARIGOLD versus Marvelous. However, 3 matches have been announced to be involved, and this one was reported by Scott Edwards. Let me pull that up for all of you. We do have, of course, the MARIGOLD World Championship on the line. Utami Ishida will defend it against Bozilla. The United National Championship, the white belt. Masa Kurai will defend her belt against Arina Yamanaka. And then finally, Nana Takahashi will be in action, teaming up with, of course, a mystery partner. But they will face against Marvelous very own Takumi Iroha and Senka Akatsuki. So that's going to be interesting to see. They haven't announced what other matches will be involved, but hopefully they announce it soon enough. Now, ChocoPro will have their next show in on time in Tokyo Square or something in Ibat, Ibatashi. They featured three matches. The first one is a six-man tag match. We have Munitatsu Nakamura teaming up with CDK, Masahiro Takanashi, and Chris Brooks. They take on the Brahman brothers, Shu and Kei, along with Tokyo Ganesha. And then, of course, Miya Yatsuba will take on Evolution's very own Soy. And then, of course, the Asian Dream Tag Team titles will be defended. The current champions Tokiko Kihara and Antonio Honda will defend their belts against Sayaka Kurara and Makoto. Um, MLW has announced the debut of Imawari from Tokyo Super Wrestling in Battle Riot. Now, she's not involved in the tournament, in case anybody, and this will happen on the 5th of April. Spark Joshi Puroresu of America will have their upcoming event in Las Vegas, Lady Luck, on the 17th. They announced three Stardom talents will be participating. We have Momo Watanabe, Starlight Kid, and of course, everybody would say, we want Mina. That's right, Mina Shirakawa will be involved too. Now, West Coast Pro has announced two matches for their Las Vegas event, Vegas Vacation, on the 17th of April. We have DDT's very own Mao. He takes on, of course, Jaya Jewel. And then finally, we have Trevor Lee, formerly known as Cameron Grimes, to the moon, taking on Timothy Thatcher. So that's going to be a lot of fun. And finally, as you know, Marvelous will be making their United States debut in Las Vegas on the 17th of April. They just announced Stardom's very own Shooty will be involved. However, they already gave the full lineup who's going to be involved on that particular day. And this is who they have. So Shooty's being the last. So we have Takumi Iroha, Maria, Riko Kawahara, Senka Asatsuki, Sora Ayame, Eihausen, Unagi Sayaka, Rina Yamashita, Sarah Zucker, Masha Slamovich, Maya World, Johnny Robbie, Queen Aminata, Nightshade, Miko Alana, and Jay Milani. So these are the girls that will be participating in the Marvelous show in Las Vegas. However, they haven't announced what the matches are. You guys may have noticed they don't have Leo here, so it's kind of interesting to see that. And then finally, as you know, Texas Promotion, Texas Wrestling Cartel will also be in Las Vegas on the 18th with Mob Ties. However, they did announce a match for that particular day. We have, of course, Zeta Steel of the WWE Prospect taking on Izzy Moreno. So that's pretty much it what we have for our upcoming events. Now on for some developments. Now, many of you may have heard of already. As you know, this year we already introduced two rookies in Stardom, Yuri Him and Akira Kurigane. Now they introduce another one named Ane Kanage, and she'll be making her debut on March 30 in Okinawa. And her debut opponent is someone who's been wrestling Okinawa before, and that is, of course, the Tropical Wild herself, Yuna Mizumori. So this happened before the start of the Cinderella Tournament. Now, many of you may have heard this about Sayaka Kurara. As you know, she is the current winner of the Cinderella Tournament, but some facts have been revealed. Those who know this, Sayaka Mitani became Cinderella, won her Cinderella Tournament back in 2021, and it only took her about 662 days since her debut to become the Cinderella Tournament winner. However, it seems that Sayaka Kurara has broken that record, and it took her about at least 446 days since her debut. And as you remember, she debuted on December 25th, 2023. And that, it says it right there. So she broke the record. Now, many of you may remember Ace Romero, the guy you've seen viral on TV. Well, he just revealed that it was revealed that he just lost 200 pounds in 1 year. It's great to hear that he's doing okay. I did hear that he's no longer wrestling. He's working as a correctionals officer, but I'm happy for him. Not sure if he'll ever come back to wrestling, but who knows. Now, Sean Ross Sapp mentioned this on his X account. There's been talk about WWE making an appearance in here in my hometown of San Diego for Survivor Series. There's been talks about that. I cannot say it's 100% confirmed because I feel there's been people who felt like they've been robbed from ever having another pay-per-view with WWE. Only time will tell. So we will see what happens until then. But for now, I think it's time to say we are officially done with our news updates and everything else. So I'm going to say this. Let's call it a day. Okay. Hope everybody enjoys this episode. Coming up, well, I did find out recently we are expecting another New Japan event. We continue more with the semifinals of the New Japan Cup. Shingo Takagi will face off against Shota Umino, and then of course Zack Sabre Jr. will face off against David Finlay. So that's gonna be a very interesting matchup. So we will see who will be the lucky recipients to be in part of the finals. Now, as everything else, I don't know exactly. I may make the next episode another Japanese wrestling episode because I missed out on Surrealism Chapter 7. That is one thing, and then, of course, a few others. I haven't decided just yet. So I'm just going to wait and see how things will play out in my favor. So I will buy my time. But as of right now, I'll say that's the priority is New Japan. Everything else, fair game, and we'll see how I'm winging it. So at this time, I will say this, that I will see you guys in the next DWZ time. Same DWZ channel. I must bid all of you adieu. So, goodbye. And have a nice day. Bang.